Hi everyone, this is Noriko Duet. Welcome to my online classroom. Today we're gonna change things around a little bit. Let's talk about how to encourage creativity. Well, at the time of this taping, we are stuck at home because of the COVID-19 outbreak. And we just learned yesterday that for the whole month of April, there will not be any schools except for e-learning. So I know there's a lot of students out there who's adult students having younger children, and then also those of you just spending time at home and trying to spend some time doing some creative project. So hopefully some of my tips that I'm gonna share with you today will help you. Okay, so first thing first, whenever you're working on a new art project, and it doesn't have to be color pencil or drawing, it can be any project. But imagine this, when you have that white piece of paper, you can do anything with it. Put yourself in the center of the universe. You have total and complete control over everything because you are the creator. So there's no rules and there's no should or there's no common sense of what it should be. So just let go and then just let it loose and then just kind of enjoy the freedom and power that you have when you see that white piece of paper. And for parents, I want you to make sure that that piece of paper is a safe haven for your children to express their own creativity in any way they can. So try not to set too many rules. I mean, obviously, you don't want them to start drawing on the wall or somewhere they're not supposed to, but within that piece of paper, they can do anything. Anything, okay? So that's rule number one. So just empower yourself that you get to create anything. Okay, so with that comes the rule number two, let go of judgments. Any judgments that you may have, just let it go. That means just don't ask too many questions like, okay, so this is not how it's supposed to look like, or does it look good? Try not to seek other people's approval when you're drawing or doing some creative work. It's your own. Just tap into your own inner source and then see if you can just freely create from right here. Not here. For parents, I know we are trying to teach and we have like all the good intention in mind, but trying to be careful with the comments like, well, it's not supposed to look like that. So for example, if a child drew a dog with 6 legs instead of 4, instead of telling them, well, Johnny, the dog usually have only 4 legs, not 6. Maybe you can say, well, I have never seen 6-legged dog. Can you tell me a story about that? Or you can say, well, it's interesting that you decided to draw 6 legs. Is it some special superhero dog? Or, just come up with some story and then see. And you might be surprised. Maybe they did it intentionally. But if you tell them, well, you can't do that because dogs are supposed to have only 4 legs, then you're basically telling them that their imagination is not good or not good enough. That's the last thing you want to do. And you want to make sure that you're continuously encouraging their imagination and creativity at all times. And for adults and teens, well, we do that self-talk inside our head all the time. So don't do that. If you start drawing and then you go, oh man, like it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like, or what I thought it should look like, then I would say just be unapologetic about using additional references. If you are trying to draw a hand and it just doesn't look good, go to Pinterest or Google, and there's a lot of resources out there, and don't feel funny seeking additional references. So same thing with the parents. If your child wants to draw, say, a tropical bird, but they don't know how it's supposed to look like, then go spend time together. Google tropical birds together and talk about how they look, and that can be like another new topic of conversation and interesting discussion, and really amazing bonding time between you two. And another thing, and this I know many of the students who has taken my classes, they are very familiar with that. In my classroom, there are few words that are banned. I messed up, I can't draw. Those are the two big no-nos. If you say I messed up while you're drawing, then you're really, really beating down on yourself. Drawing or creative work of any medium is just your journey, and you never mess up. There's nothing wrong you did. Your mess up is just a part of the learning process and just 2 steps away of your perfection. So instead of saying that I messed up, just switch around and then just use the word like, oh, okay, I think I need to adjust something. I need an adjustment. And instead of saying, oh man, I can't draw, you can maybe say, well, I think I need to learn how to do this better, or I need to seek additional references, or something that's a little bit more productive. Okay, so that's a little like a small tricks, but it does make a big difference, because your focus is not going to be judging your work or beating down on yourself, but instead seeking what you want to improve upon. The parents is the same thing. So instead of looking at child's work and instead of picking out on the area that's wrong, just point out the area that they could do better. Like instead of saying, well, I think the head is too big, you can maybe say, well, do you think the head is the right size? Not in a judgmental way. And maybe you can say, well, what if we make the body just a little bit bigger? But with the younger children, I want to mention just one thing, because the way the toddler draw things, especially those of age 5 or 6-year-old, they tends to draw some parts of the facial feature really big compared to the other. I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with those little kids drawing where you have a big face and maybe the eye even bigger, and with the tiny hands and the leg just sticking out like a little stick from the head. Well, that's because that's exactly the way they see the parents. They make that eye contact, and that's super important for young children. And that's how they gauge how much they're loved or what their mom and dad are thinking about. So their eye is going to be big. So it's a face, because when you smile, that really lights up their life. So that's why they tend to draw the face really big. So in a sense, they're drawing exactly what they're seeing. So for the really young children, I probably wouldn't even mention anything about proportion. For a little bit older, maybe 7, 8, 9-year-old, you can start introducing the notion of proportion and what something is like accurate as to what we see in the real world. But for the younger children, definitely just focus on just allowing them to draw what they see and what they want. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is that anything and everything you draw is a starting point of your new story. Think of your drawing as not just a drawing, but think of it more like a part of a picture book. You're the storyteller, and you're the visual storyteller. So when you draw, think of different things. So if your child, say, drew a picture of mountain, lake, and a forest, ask them, do you know where this is? And if they say, well, I don't know, maybe it's like somewhere, I just imagined that, I don't know. Then maybe you can ask, okay, so is it warm outside? Is it spring? Is it winter? Ask them about the seasons, time of the day. Is it sunny? Is it hot? Is it windy? Ask a lot of questions. and then ask them to add something that tells you the story. This applies to many teen students out there who just doesn't like to add background. Background is excellent way to set the scene and tell your story, especially those of you who likes to create your own character. So think about the personality of the character, and based on that, where would they be? And I've seen so many students just like drawing a character just standing straight and not doing anything much. Instead of doing that, think about, okay, so this person is standing. Well, standing where? Standing in the alleyway? Outside? Inside? What time of the day? What are they doing? What are they thinking when they're standing? Think of all these questions and then let the answer come out, and then let that be part of your story, part of your background, part of the little accent and accessories that you might add to the character, or additional character or dog or some other creature you might introduce to your drawing. So let it explore, and then just allow yourself to fill that piece of paper with everything that you have, everything that you imagined. And if that means that you may not be able to finish your drawing in 20 or 30 minutes, then let it be. If you want to spend a week or two just adding one thing here and there to finish your work, that's fine too. Thank you for watching, and I hope you find this somewhat helpful. I'm looking forward to seeing your work, even if it's not color pencil. So during this month of just staying at home and not doing anything much, if you have time, then draw something, create something new, something completely and totally out of your imagination. And I would love to see your work. So if you have something you want to share, please do. And if I have enough, maybe I share it with everybody on YouTube. So thank you for watching today's tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear from you. Are you interested in being part of my online art class? You can submit your work to be discussed or have private video or email consultation. There's a link in the description box below, so check it out. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Bye!